Hello my dear students and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will perform the test for the presence of carbohydrates in various food samples. For this activity, we will need the Benedict reagent, a dropper, test tubes, starch solution and food samples for which I have taken rice and potato water. So first of all, I will prepare a starch solution so that I may have a positive control for our experiment. So this is the starch powder which I will use to dissolve in a test tube. So in this test tube I have added the starch powder and I will dissolve it so that this will serve as a positive control. So this tube is the starch water. Then the second tube I will add only plain water and this will serve as a negative control. In the third tube I am going to add the rice water. This is just the rice and I have added some water and soaked it for 5 minutes. So this is the rice water. Third tube is rice water. And in the fourth tube I have taken potato, chopped it roughly and mixed some water, and this fourth tube will contain potato water. Now we have to add Benedict reagent to each of the tube. So in each of the tube I will add Benedict reagent. Now we have to keep all these four tubes in boiling water. So before boiling, let me label the tubes. So this first tube was starch, so I have labeled it to 1. This is the second tube, only water. This is the third tube, rice water, and this is the fourth tube, potato water. Now for boiling this, I have prepared a boiling water bath. I have boiled the water in this kettle and now I will place all these four tubes in this kettle and wait for 5 minutes. And now we will observe the color change. So after 5 minutes we will see the change in the color in these tubes. Depending on the concentration of the carbohydrate present, we will observe a greenish precipitate or brown, orangish brown or a brick red precipitate. Green will represent low concentration of carbohydrate, whereas orange will represent a moderate level of carbohydrate and the brick red color will represent a high amount of carbohydrate. So let us boil this. We have to wait for 5 minutes for boiling these tubes so that we may note down the change in the color of the tubes. So now we can clearly see that this first tube has a brick red precipitate and this means that the concentration of carbohydrate is high. There is no change in the color in the second tube because it was containing only water. Then in the third tube we can see slightly greenish color, and in the fourth tube we can see the orangish light orange color has appeared. Means these three tubes contain starch and this tube was not containing starch. So this was the presence of carbohydrates. This Benedict test is used to determine the presence of carbohydrate in the sample, and with this test we can clearly see the concentration of the carbohydrate present in the samples. Brick red color means the concentration is high and orangish red color means the concentration is moderate, whereas light green color shows that there are low amount of carbohydrate, whereas if there is no change in the color, then it means that no carbohydrate is present in this sample. So this was all about today's activity.